Hello, I am Lincoln.
Lincoln is dead. No one knows how he died, but he's dead.
Mysteries sure are interesting, huh? Well, I've got some of the greatest Nintendo mysteries ever, and today we're going to be looking at them.
Let's start out with an iconic one. Ellisville 2401. If you were to go to the castle courtyard in Super Mario 64, you'd find a star statue with some mysterious text inscribed on it. It's of course just a texture and completely meaningless. As a matter of fact, the same exact texture is used in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. However, some people have looked at it and saw that it most likely says Eternal Star, because it's on a star statue, and that makes a lot of sense. But some people look at it and say that it says Ellisville 2401. Now, what does this mean? A lot of people thought at the time if you were to collect 2401 coins in Super Mario 64, you would unlock Luigi. But that is simply not the case. So what is the point of Ellisville 2401? Well, it didn't really have any meaning until recently, when the Giga Leak happened. One of the Giga Leak releases showed off a model for Luigi who was intended to be a second player in Super Mario 64. This model of Luigi only leaked 24 years and 1 month after the release of Super Mario 64. And this is absolutely planned by whoever leaked it just for dramatic effect and has nothing to do with anything. Often these leaks are really just pointless and don't really mean anything. But there is nothing sinister about Luigi. So let's talk about something really sinister and mysterious. The Lavender Town Plague. In the original Pokemon Red and Blue, the smash hits for the Game Boy, there was this town titled Lavender Town. It was the town of ghost Pokemon, and it had this disturbing music in the background. One of its biggest mysteries is regarding its music. Some say that original copies of the game had micro frequencies of the music in Lavender Town that makes people go insane. Several children ended up taking their lives due to hearing this music. And it is absolutely fake. This is not true. This technically falls under the creepypasta category, but I just wanted to mention here. But enough with all of these fake mysteries. Let's deal with something real. Super Mario Galaxy is a brilliant game, right? Well, if you were to look at its logo, you'd see that occasionally the letters would have sparkling effects on them. If you were to take every single letter from the logo with a sparkling effect on it and laid them out in front of each other, they would read, "You are Mr. Gay." Now, what does this mean? Well, a lot of people would think this is quite obviously a coincidence, but it's not. If you were to go to Super Mario Galaxy 2's logo and read all the letters, the sparkles on them, backwards, you know what you'd get? Yeah, I am. Are you? That is an interesting question. It leaves us with some interesting things to think about. First of all, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is canonically Mr. Gay. But it asks if Super Mario Galaxy is also Mr. Gay. That's what made me realize Mr. Gay isn't a name. It is a title. And deep down, if you look into yourself, you will find that we are all Mr. Gay on some level. And that's beautiful. Everyone is Mr. Gay.
That is why he would ask if he is Mr. Gay, if he is apparently Mr. Gay himself. That is the only reason why he could ever ask. This logo tells us so much wisdom that it's unfathomable. Anyways, on to the next thing. That's on aliens. Here is an interesting one. Let's go back to Super Mario Galaxy 2. If you go to Shiverburn Galaxy and look up from the canyon, you will find these 3, actually 4, but you can't see the 4th one from the angle you're looking at it, aliens. Now, no one knows why these aliens are here or what they're doing here, but mysterious things like this have commonly appeared in Mario games. Example, Super Mario 3D Land World 1-3. There is a UFO flying in the sky if you look in the sky for a few minutes. Another example from Super Mario 3D Land, there is a ghost that watches you in this level. What about these random handprints in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker? These mysteries mostly stem from Nintendo wanting to create a mystery or just wanting to scare some children, which I'm all for. Last Halloween, I was going as a skeleton, just a generic skeleton, and I wore the skeleton costume to a bowling event. After the bowling event, we went to Costco, and then I just knew it was my mission, because I was the guy in Costco wearing a skeleton costume to try and scare as many people as possible. Like, because, you know, there's people walking around with babies and stuff, and, like, you know, I'm wearing a skeleton costume at Costco. What else am I supposed to do? Anyways, back on topic. Another genre of Nintendo mysteries are Nintendo mysteries that have already been solved, but they're mysteries of the past. One of my personal favorites of those would have to be Luigi hanging himself. So, in Luigi's mansion, there's this room you can go into, where lightning strikes and you can see the flash through the window. And it appears as Luigi is hanging himself in this room from his shadow. But that's not actually what's happening. What's happening is a error with the shading. You can tell because it's completely fixed in the Luigi's Mansion 3DS version. And they've gone out to say that that was a mistake and it's not meant to look like anything. Another example was when Tears of the Kingdom was first revealed. We were just calling it the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And the reveal trailer had some audio to it that you can tell was reversed due to all the warpingness of it. So people started to reverse the trailer, and you can hear this chanting that goes, "Poor Hyrule, for Link has found the body." As a matter of fact, here it is. People thought that it said, "Poor Hyrule, for Link has found the body," but some people didn't think that and are like, that's too much of a stretch. It's not likely that that's actually what it's saying. I'm sorry, what? Play it again. And then they're like, it's like that thing where if you're thinking of a different thing, you're gonna hear it sounding different. Okay, how about this? Think of the word onomatopoeia, and I'm gonna say something. If you're thinking of it, it's gonna sound like I'm saying onomatopoeia. Are you ready? Cucumber. Did that sound like I was saying onomatopoeia? No! Not every single sound works like that. It's only specific sounds. You cannot tell me that that does not sound like Poor Hyrule, for Link has found the body. Now, that's not really a mystery, seeing as what happens in the trailer is Link finds a body and Hyrule is put in danger. But what is a mystery is while it's happening, you can hear this line of dialogue. No one can deny that. Someone just said, "Help us, please." Interestingly, this one's not necessarily even solved. Like, I can't tell what character that is or what she's referring to. So perhaps it's linked to a past storyline that no longer exists in the game. My first guess was that it's either Sonia or Minoru, but
it doesn't exactly sound like either of them. But my favorite case of a past mystery of Nintendo has gotta go to the Super Mario Odyssey costume. So, when Super Mario Odyssey released, like when any game releases, there are data miners. The data miners release information about the game that isn't normally seen. One of the pieces of information was some costume descriptions for some costumes that aren't in the game. The way Mario Odyssey released its costumes was through post-release updates to keep players playing the game. So, people had to guess based on the descriptions to see what the next costume would be. This is probably why one of my favorite videos on the internet is the Super Mario Odyssey Lost Bits by Tetrabit Gaming, because it gives you a nice time capsule of some mysteries that no longer exist. Example, people were super confused when they saw Santa costume descriptions in it, because they could tell it was Santa, but it's weird that there would be a Santa costume in a Mario game. Same with other costumes, like the Satellaview suit, which in the video was correctly guessed. Now, there is one more mystery that I'd like to discuss, but this mystery just so happens to have gotten so huge that I would like to discuss it in a completely different discussion. So I think that's where we're going to end things for today. I will tell you guys when the discussion I'm referring to is happening, but it will come at some point in the future. Bye-bye.